Welcome back everybody to the channel. Today we're taking a look at a 2023 Chevrolet Blazer RS. So as usual, let's take a look at the front first with these nice daytime running LEDs. The RS is arguably one of the most sporty SUVs on the market right now. Look at this front end. It just looks so aggressive with that blacked out Chevrolet badge, which does come standard with the RS. It just looks like it's aggressive, looks like it wants to bite my head off, and it also looks very Camaro inspired, which I love as well. So we've got these daytime running LEDs right here, and then just on the bottom, that's actually the main headlight, although it does look like a fog light. Some fake vents on the side there, but nice big diffuser. It's kind of a bug collector there on the bottom with all that black. And then we have some kind of like Vader chrome like we saw in the GMC Yukon. We have some of that there too, but it's very aggressive. One of my favorite front ends this year. So let's take a look what's under that sporty front end. We have a 3.6 liter V6 engine with a 9-speed automatic transmission that does 308 horsepower, 270 pound-feet of torque, which in my opinion is just the right amount to get that RS badge. You know, it's not a dual clutch or anything crazy like that, but I'll take a 9-speed automatic with the twin clutch all-wheel drive system. Is a really good pairing in my opinion. You also can see there that we have 21-inch high gloss black wheels and some blacked out badges. Like I already said, that also comes standard. Very nice stuff though. So a decent amount of power, but now let's look at the side profile for the Chevrolet Blazer. It is big. I believe it is based off the Acadia platform, so that's why we're getting this big kind of four-door SUV it's just big. It just rides big. It looks big in person, but I absolutely love that red and black. It's like my favorite combination ever on any car. You can slap it on any car. I'm going to like it. So let's take a closer look here at the side profile of the Blazer. We have some nice turning signals here, a camera underneath the mirror for the 360-degree camera, and we have a nice Blazer badge right there, as well as 4 locking and unlocking doors. All 4 of them will unlock all the doors, and it's a button, so it might not freeze in the Canadian winter, which is super important. Same thing in the back here. We have the same thing here. Very cool. Just a normal gas cap. Then as we move along to the back, we have a nice Chevrolet badge right in the taillight, which also looks very cool. It's kind of like intertwined with itself. And there's a nice shot here of those 21-inch wheels. Very nice. I like that a lot. And as we come over to the back too, you can see like it's got like this nice spoiler here too, almost not a spoiler, but like a rear wing almost kind of thing to help the air go through. I like it. I like the touch here. Love the red and black. Can't get enough of it. Can't stop looking at it, especially in the sun here. Oh my goodness. So speaking of the back, the sun's kind of like right up there, so I'm gonna have to show you it a little bit in the dark, but you'll be seeing some B-roll there so that you can kind of see it more in the light. But oh my goodness, look at those taillights actually shine right here in the dark. Very cool. So we also have some RS badging, the Blazer all-wheel drive, and then two exhausts. So it doesn't have that much of an exhaust note, but for the RS version of the Blazer, for what it is, for $55K, I think I'm okay with the note that it has. We also can get a shot of those. Look at those. Look at the size of these big boy tires. Oh yes, not bad at all. So down right over here, we have one camera for the digital rear view mirror, and then another one for the actual rear view camera. So it's kind of both right there. And then this, I believe, is a nozzle that will clean both of the cameras. So if it gets, you know, disgusting, you can always shoot it full of whatever kind of liquid you got, and bang, we have a nice blacked out Chevrolet badge. But let's pop the trunk so I can show you how much room we're working with. And this is where you can kind of see the Acadia platform almost, because oh my goodness, it's just massive back here. We have so much trunk space. It's insane. Like you can almost imagine there would be a third row right here. There is so much trunk space. It's ridiculous. It's insane, and I love it though. We can fold down those seats and have even more room. But just this, you can fit so much stuff just in the base of this without folding the seats down at all, without losing your passenger space, which I am a big fan of. But let's go ahead and hop in those back seats, and then we're gonna hop in the front seat, and then of course I'll take you for a drive. So let's get right to that. All right, so as usual, up front first is the rear of the Chevrolet Blazer. Pretty basic stuff. You can see the red stitching already, and we already can see we have a button for a heated rear seat, which is great. But let's hop in. Let's check out this. Look at this. The camera's actually picking it up. I do like this part where it's like, it's not completely red, but it is red at the same time. It has like these red accents embroidered into the seats almost. Really love that attention to detail. But let me hop in here Close the door. It's absolutely blazing outside. So good thing I have some vents right here, which is absolutely perfect. There's no actual climate control back here, but I am getting enough air that I don't actually mind. Then I have a normal house outlet right there. And as you can see, I have a ton of room. Now, I could actually pull this lever on the bottom and I could go forwards more if I needed to, if there was something big in the trunk, and I can slide myself all the way back. These seats also do recline, which is very nice. I do like that a lot, the fact that they recline and they can move back and forth, but at the furthest back the seats can go, I got so much leg room here. It's very, very comfortable, as well as an excellent view of the nice panoramic sunroof. It is going to run you a little bit more money, but it is definitely worth it if it's in the budget. Definitely get this. Then as standard stuff, we have this little armrest / cup holder thing. Super standard, nothing crazy there. Then we have our 2 Bose speakers for the back seat here. Very cool, very nice, but let's hop up into the business end. Let's check out the front of this thing. Okay, next up, let's hop right into the front seat. Bigger door. Again, the same kind of thing, except this time we have like a kind of like a gloss black metallic kind of thing here for the memory seats here. And we also have some nice window controls, very basic stuff, as well as the button to open and close our automatic tailgate and a big Bose speaker right there. And then we kind of have that same red stitching that I was talking about in the rear. Very, very cool stuff. Very nice to look at. But let me hop in here and show you exactly what we're working with. Let me start this thing up and we'll see exactly how that sounds. Push the button right here. All the fans and all that stuff starts to grind up. That big noise that you can probably hear is the ventilated seat fan. It does run very high, but immediately we're greeted by this big boy steering wheel. This is a big SUV, so I love the fact that I have this big steering wheel with a blacked out Chevrolet bow tie. Love that touch. All physical buttons, so very nice there. Love the red stitching and like the chrome here. You can see my hand in it. Very cool. Love the attention to detail there. Then we have a digital gauge cluster right here. Don't mind it at all, but I wish I just feel like it needs an upgrade. It's not bad. I just feel like it could use an upgrade. I feel like the Chevy Trax, is that the new one? The Chevy Trax has a better infotainment or gauge cluster system than this one. I feel like they should just, at this point, go all digital and stop with this half analog, half stuff. But you'll recognize this one if you've seen it on the Terrain. It was also on the Terrain, so there you go. But it is effective. So I have a bunch of different menus that I can go through. Trip, gas, all that standard stuff. Oil, life, you know, this is just the basic stuff. Over on the right hand side, not too much to look at. Lighting controls, parking brake, and this is the illumination control that kind of pops out. Really like that. That's very cool. And then you'll see we have these nice color painted vents here that, you know, remind me of the Camaro so much. You can see they're really massive over here. This is just straight out of a Chevy Camaro, like, and I love that. I absolutely love that fact. It's so cool. They just took what was in a Chevy Camaro and just made it a Chevy Blazer. I am on board with this. That is so cool. But the cool thing is when you want to change your temperature, it's this big boy dial right here. So you can see the numbers changing right up there. And so I can go down and I can go up, and it's very cool. Whole bunch of physical buttons, really, really great. The only button that's actually missing is like a camera button or like a quick camera button, because this has the 360-degree camera button, and I like being able to just click it on whenever I need to, and it's kind of missing that, but anyways, it's fine. We also have our ventilated seat and heating seat control here for the passenger and the driver as well. Passengers over here, driver's right here, very cool. We have some USB-C and USB-A there. Wireless charging pad here, which is going to stick very nicely. Then we have this cool shifter with the RS badge, since it's the Blazer RS. Of course, we need that. Then we have this, I like the shifter. It's very, very cool. Some basic cup holders. I like kind of like, it's not like piano black. It's kind of like a see-through black. So this is nice. This won't get that dirty that fast. So I really do like this. Then we have our parking sensors, our lane keep assist, and then this is how you're going to change your drive modes. You have 2-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, sport, off-road, and towing, which is very nice to have. Little thing there for some storage. And I like the red stitching on this armrest here, and of course it opens up and you have some stuff in there, as well as 2 more USB ports. Very nice. Moving right on over to the infotainment system, you can see we have the auto start stop button there. The glove box is actually a button. Check this out. That's very interesting. Don't know why it's a button, but that's cool. That's unique. We'll take it. Then we have our camera button for, like I said, our 360-degree camera. Very cool. Very, very high quality. I love that. And then we have our GM infotainment system that we all know and love. You saw it on the Terrain, you saw it on the Yukon. Well, the Yukon was actually Android Automotive, but we saw it on the EUV it is great. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto as well as wired Chevrolet Maps Plus this time. We have some climate controls here that we can control through the infotainment, but there's also physical buttons, so you don't even need to touch it. The My Chevrolet, the hotspot stuff, it's all right here. The navigation is right here too. It's just really, really great. Change nothing GM about this infotainment. I love it. Then if we move on just a little bit up here, we have a digital rear view mirror. Yes, it is going to cost you a little bit more on the price tag, but again, if you have the budget, do get it, because check this out. That's the normal view. There you can see me in the camera. And bang, that is the rear view camera with a random person parked behind me. So yeah, overall, I love this interior. I cannot call it boring at all. It's got a bunch of different curves, a bunch of different angles. These huge Camaro vents really does remind me of sitting in a Camaro, but just way higher off the ground than I should be. And I love it. I love the red stitching with the black. Love the contrast there. I like these seats, the way it's like a embroidered red almost. It's very cool with the black and red trim. I love it. Nice Bose speaker. Can't go wrong there. But with that being said, let me strap this GoPro on. Let me put you in the driver's seat so you can see exactly what it's like to drive the Chevrolet Blazer. Let's do this. Okay, 2023 Chevrolet Blazer RS in the driver's seat on the road. Here we go. So I believe that this is still based off an Acadia platform. So I did drive the Acadia earlier this year, so comparing it is quite cool. So I do kind of feel like that bodiness in the way it drives. Obviously the RS is a little bit more sporty than the Acadia is. The Acadia is more meant for 3-row family hauler. This is meant for, like, you know, not a 3-row, but you still can haul your family and have a little bit of fun at the same time, because we have some different drive modes. We have the 2-wheel drive, the 4-wheel drive, the off-road and stuff like that. But let me pop it into sport mode. Gotta give it a second. That's the only thing. It does take a little bit to get into these modes. So like, I'm gonna flip my gauge one more time there. There we go. Now I am in sport mode. I'm just gonna turn on my digital rear view mirror, which I absolutely love when I'm just driving along here. It's super high quality too. I really like that. It just adds to the overall usability of this SUV. But here we go. We're just gonna go around the bend here. There's nobody behind me. And then we're gonna take the Chevrolet, I keep saying, wanting to say Chevrolet Bolt because it's the only Chevrolet I've driven, the Chevrolet Blazer, for a little rip. So let me just slow down here. We're gonna pump the brakes right here, and let's rip the Chevrolet Blazer RS. Let's go, full power. Ooh, that V6 sounds so good when you're ripping it, and the shifting is like so smooth too. I do find though that it has a lot of travel. The accelerator pedal has a lot of travel to it. It's as if like it can just push for days. But man, that V6 sounds nice. Oh my goodness. It's nice to be back in a car with some speed. So just above 300 horsepower for this one. Really cool. It's in that sweet spot, right? Where it's like, it's still an SUV, it's still usable, it's still kind of okay on fuel economy. It's not like supercharged or anything like that. It is turbocharged, obviously, but it's not crazy and it's not boring. It's right in that sweet spot of just nice. If I take this corner here kind of hard and like turn in late a little bit, you can feel the body like roll a little bit, but there's actually not that much. You can tell that there's, you know, a slight, maybe just a little bit of tuning here for the suspension for the RS version, but man, I just dig it. I'm also very comfortable. The ride quality is like as you'd expect from an SUV of this price point, which is around like the 55-60K range, depending on how many options you put in your Chevy Blazer when you do configure it on the website. But yeah, it does have a little bit of body roll, but it's very comfortable. Like I'm very, very comfortable. I've been comfortable all week. Been driving in some traffic this week too. I do a lot of city driving, so yeah, it's been very, very comfortable. The seats hold you well while you're doing some speed, when you're doing the twisty bits on your way home, you know. Yeah, it's extremely comfortable. I do like the ride quality here. So let's talk a little bit about fuel economy. Obviously, I do more city driving than I do highway, so my average has actually been a 14.2, which isn't great, but then again, you think this is a very heavy SUV. It drives like a very heavy SUV, so that does make sense. And then obviously my best when I'm doing a lot of highway driving is around the 8, and that's incredible. If you can manage to get an 8 out of this, you're doing a very good job with your fuel, because my goodness, that's really, really good. 8 is almost around my Hyundai Elantra, which is like 2 times smaller than this car. So to get 8 in this thing would be really cool. So visibility for the Blazer RS is also very good. I feel like I like the ride height a lot. It took a bit to get used to. I think that's just because I'm used to driving lower cars lately. I've been driving a lot of lower cars lately, but the ride height is very good. I do feel high off the ground. I got a plenty of view out of my driver window. Nice view out of the blind spot because you have a little hole there when you turn your shoulder, so that's very nice. And of course, this digital rearview mirror, which I always love on any GM vehicles that they have it. It's very, very good. So visibility, excellent in the Chevrolet Blazer. Lots of room in the rear as well that you would have seen in the interior tour. I also just really love the feel of the steering wheel. I like how big it is. Like, again, I love that blacked out Chevrolet logo. It's just, I like the red stitching too. It just feels really good. I have my volume controls and everything like that back here. Would have been cool to see maybe some shifter paddles to do some manual stuff, because this is the RS, this is the sport version, but you know, I guess that's a missed opportunity. They decided not to do it, but we do have volume controls, so I will at least take that because it's very nice to have these little clicky things behind your hands here. It's very cool. All right, so let's unfortunately do some closing thoughts for the Blazer RS. I do really enjoy this SUV. It's kind of like, I like how aggressive it looks. I like how it's designed on the interior. I like how there's some Camaro-y aspects with these vents and stuff. I do like the RS. I think the RS version of the Blazer is my favorite version. They are coming out with an electric version that has like a completely redesigned infotainment display. It's all digital. It looks so clean. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Hopefully I can get my hands on it. But I think this is probably one of my most favorite looking SUVs, just in terms of like style on the interior and exterior. This is one of my favorite looking SUVs so far. Maybe the speed, well, actually no, the speed is actually there too, so that's fine too. So far the Blazers nailed the engine, they've nailed the exterior look and the interior look. I think the only thing that's like kind of missing is, like, I think they should just done a digital gauge cluster here, because you might as well, because the mix of analog, this is old. I saw this on the terrain last year, wasn't a fan of it, still not a fan of it, so hopefully they will change it. They did change it for the electric versions anyways. I'm not sure if there's a 2024 Blazer or they're killing it. I am not 100% sure on that, but overall it's been a really good SUV to drive, to have your family in. The trunk, there's a ton of room in there. You don't have a third row, there's no third row option, so there's no third row, so you have so much room. You fold the seats down, you have even more room. So this is good for like the duality of things. It's meant to be used, you can have a little bit of fun, and you can lug your family around, whatever you need, and you can also lug some things around too, because those seats fold down, you'll have so much space. So I think that'll do it for today for the Chevrolet Blazer RS. It's been a great week. Wish I had longer with it. This, if I was in the market for an SUV, this would be like easily top 3 or top 5 on my list for SUVs, just because of the styling. I love the way it looks. I like the way I feel when I drive it. It's nice ride quality, nice ride height. I am a fan of the Chevrolet Blazer, and I've never driven it before, so that's really cool. So the first impression here for me is great. Can't wait to see what Chevrolet and GM do with it. Maybe they'll add a Super Cruise. I know they have in the 2024 Blazer EV, so that's going to be really cool. So let's see what they do. Let's see where they go from here. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. You have a great week, weekend, night, wherever you're watching. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a like. Let me know in the comments if anything I said has helped you. That's my only goal here, is to help you make your next car buying decision easier by showing you what it's like from every angle, going in depth, and putting you behind the driver's seat. And if you want to see what cars that I am driving early, then you can go ahead and become a member on the channel, and I will make a weekly video for every car that I drive, because the car that you're seeing now, I'm already in a different car, most likely, as long as scheduling and everything like that works out. But I'm already in another car, so if you want to see that, then make sure you become a member so that you can have access to those videos. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Take care.